So in today's video we have something brand new, the ice effect in resin. Let's go. Right, we are back with another crazy experiment. So I'm going to be playing with something that I don't think has ever been done in resin, and there's probably a reason why, but I would like to, if possible, be the first to give it a try. So this is crazy stuff. It's a special effects liquid paint by, is that Vallejo? It's designed for D&D players to decorate their characters or the landscapes. And what it does is it acts in a really strange and mysterious way. So what I essentially want to do with it is just create some different visual effects in resin moving forward. And now this is only my third day playing with this stuff, so bear with me. So I actually filmed a video yesterday and I wasn't happy with it, and let me show you some of the results. I might use one or two of the pieces that I've created here. So ignore the bubbles. I've mixed up way too fast, but you can see we can get lots of different visual effects. That looks like that slime that grows with the UV light, and this could be used for frost effects. That's what it's designed for. But also we could capture a snowflake inside resin. But look at the way it's grown. So this one was all UV. I started with a black UV base, applied the liquid, it grew, and then I sealed that in, but it did lose some of its colour, which led me on to thinking, can we then colour the crystals, which I did in this one. Again, ignore the bubbles. And the colour's muddied because of the colours that I chose, but you can use alcohol inks to colour these. This was using a tiny amount of pink that I had on the end of a paintbrush just to colour it. But look at these crazy effects that you can get. So the reason why I'm starting again is because I realised that black isn't the best colour base. Although it looks like it now, when you add the resin, it kind of fades it out a bit. So I want to kind of colour it. So I'm thinking a white base. So I'm going to start, let's get my other mould. I'm going to start off by just curing some white UV resin in the bottom of some of these. And then we're going to grow the crystals. I'll try and include a hyperlapse. If it's not of this video, it will be part of the hyperlapse from yesterday's video. But again, look at that. Look at the depth of these crystals, the way they've grown up as well. Kind of pointing upwards. And I know this mould is meant to be flipped so that the front of the pieces are facing downwards. But it's just experimenting at the moment. And I've also had a little play around on nails for any nail technicians. Again, it would be better on a different coloured base, but it will work. It will work exactly the same way as it does in resin. So you could do frosty nails, snowflake nails. Right, anyway, let's get started. So as a base, all I have done is just mixed in some of my diamond white mica powder with some UV resin and just cured that so it's solid. So you're probably thinking as well, what could this be used for? Use your imagination. I mean, you could do frosty beach scenes, you could do loads of different stuff for this. I mean, this was one that actually looks like ice captured, and the crystals that grow over the edge are just covered with UV resin and they are solid. So again, it's just experimenting, and I am playing around, and it behaves very eerily mixed with acrylic paints. So you could do, you know, Halloween inspired stuff. I might try red, see if we can get those red veins growing. So what we need to do is, I scraped off most of it, but it grew crystals around the neck of the bottle. It is crazy stuff. So we just apply a few drops, maybe just 2 to the smaller pieces of the liquid. And then we just spread that around. Just going to use the end of my cuticle tool that I use for trimming my pieces. And it can take a variation of time. I mean, some of mine yesterday took 20 minutes. Some of them took longer. The more you have in there, the longer it will take. But those really good crystals that I just showed you, I left them overnight. You can cheat with this as well. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because heat can damage your moulds. Well, the torch can. I'll show you on one, just to speed things up. So what I realised is that if you just use a torch from a distance and just warm up, let me try and get you at a good angle, just warm up the surface of the liquid and then let it cool. It's really difficult to show you on this colour background. It will start to crystallise and it will look like it shatters. Again, you can't really see it on this colour. And then what I did was just applied some more over the top, and it really does speed things up, I have found. Right, I'll try and capture a hyperlapse again, if not of this one, because it is difficult to see with this colour background. It will be one from yesterday's video. Okay, so what you saw there was a hyperlapse over 8 minutes in around 14 seconds. So I've cheated and sped these ones up, but I've left this one to do its own thing. I'm probably not going to get a snowflake effect like I did yesterday because I've covered most of the surface. So I might try another one. Okay, we're going to try the snowflake in this one, but just check those out. Again, not to everybody's taste, but only by experimenting with different things can you kind of unlock things moving forward for lots of other people. So what I've done here is just really sped this up because this idea didn't really work. I wanted to create a snowflake effect, but with the white background it just didn't work. So I thought I might as well fast forward this part and skip to the next bit. And again here, all I'm showing is just using alcohol inks just to dab the colour onto the effect. But these weren't really the highlight pieces. So again, I'm just really fast forwarding this just to get to the next stage. And it's a shame we can't keep the snowflake white. I'll try and work on one of the other ones and see if we can get a decent result. So I've just mixed in some blue with some white alcohol ink, but I don't think it's going to stand out much. This is definitely it. Much better ice effect. So maybe I should have stuck with yesterday's video after all. The blue with the black really works well. Got a bit of pink down there, but I'm really not worried. I'm going to do a couple of the other ones with this as well. Much better effects for what I was looking for. So because these are alcohol inks and I want to cheat and speed things up, I need to wait for these alcohol inks to fully dry. Shouldn't take too long because the alcohol will evaporate before I can top these up with UV resin. So, going back to the rubbish ones, well, I'm really not keen on these now. Now I've gone back to yesterday's video. You wouldn't believe how much UV resin I've got through practicing with this. At least 150 grams. So treat it a bit like dried flowers. When you pour the resin in, there's not going to be as much because we've used alcohol ink, and that has absorbed and taken up most of that airspace within the crystals. But treat it a little bit like you would dried flowers. So just very gently manipulate any of the small bubbles to the surface. Now I'm not filling these right up because again I have used so much resin playing around with this stuff. So yeah, just manipulate them up. There aren't too many, luckily, and I will see you for the results. Right, are you ready to see the results? Now I didn't finish these ones off because I'm not happy with them. I did a few of them and then thought, you know, the highlight pieces are the ones that I actually went back to from yesterday's video. So as always, please give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that button. I did show you this one. I tried to recreate that muddying colour. For some reason I thought it was pink and yellow, but it's not pink and yellow. So it didn't really work out. But it's still some crazy effects. It's just not what I wanted. And this was the one that I thought looked a bit like a heart. Again, I'm just not fond of these. And this was another one. Had some bubbles. They're still pretty cool. But these ones. Wow. So this was one that I kept plain. No background. These just grew inside the mould on their own, and I think that is super cool. Again, something I've not seen done in resin before. And I will stress, if you try this on another channel, please give me a shout out, tag me so I can come and see. This is crazy stuff, and this was less than $4, and it goes a very, very long way. It's just a case of playing with it and just working out how it works. So this was another one. So that one looks more like a bigger snowflake, but I really, really like the detail. Again, you could add this effect to so many different things, but I like it the way it is. It brings something brand new. And these crystal shards are just something else. I love it. 3 days have paid off. This one's a bit not too sure, but it's still something I've not seen before. Almost looks like mountain ranges. So I'd be willing to try like a landscape effect, I think. But the last two are definitely my favourite. It's very, again, it's like a map, looking down on a map. You can see, like, it looks like mountain ranges with kind of rivers that meet up. But that is absolutely stunning. A lot of the time I look at my work and I'm never quite happy. Some things I am, but these are phenomenal. Last one I think is my favourite, alongside this big square one, just because of those fractal shards. So as the liquid is crystallizing, it grows and it latches onto the liquid and crystallizes again, causing this crazy and absolutely wonderful effect. It is phenomenal. So hit me in the comments, let me know if you want me to try this in a coaster. Something a bit bigger. I'm trying to work out what that black outline looks like. Kind of looks like some tail coming off there. So yeah, please share this one around and I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.